and welcome to another episode of Conscious Body Conversations. This is Jessie Lucas here of Embodied Movement Training. I am so excited for today's conversation with Ruth Ratliff, voice and vibrational sound practitioner. I had a session with Ruth last month, and I'm going to let you experience what she has to deliver. Ruth and I share this belief in understanding and kind of nerdy interest in the place where emotions and your cellular health are related. And there are many ways to kind of access that place. If you know my work in movement and kinesthetic intelligence, it's all about kind of awakening that. I also do some other work in kind of biohacking cellular functioning. What Ruth can deliver as far as really a just kind of direct hit to the cells with sound and vibration is truly, truly profound and beautiful. So I am going to let Ruth take it away and share some of her wisdom. We'll have a little conversation about that because I know I'm really excited to hear and share my piece around that too. Ruth, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and sound and vibrational, healing and what that has to offer.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jessie. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure speaking to you and working with you when we had that session together. And I'm really jazzed about what you do as well, because I feel like there is such an amazing connection between this. And I'm just going to start off with a little sound as a sound healer. It makes you stop, doesn't it, for a moment? The sound of it it arrests you. It's compelling. There's a reason for that. It is because this vibration is speaking to your vibration. And sound healing is based on the premise that everything is vibration. I think most people have kind of, heard of that at this point, right? And that sound actually can go into you at a cellular level, which is fascinating. For many, many years, I've been a voice professional. I was a performer, a singer, and the last 20 years, I've been a voice teacher. And sound also includes the sound of our voices, of course. And I noticed the changes through my own journey with my own voice. As a professional, I went through a lot of tragedy. I lost my whole family. I found that I believe firmly that my relationship with developing my own voice absolutely helped me move through that in a much more emotionally healthy way. Absolutely. And I noticed the changes not only in myself, but through the 20 years of teaching in my students as well, especially the young people. They became more poised, more present, more confident. They were taking more risks, and they would talk to me about that, and say, "I just feel better about myself using my voice." So, what my work is really about introducing people to the very ancient but newly rediscovered art of sound healing, sound therapy, and really bringing the voice into that, as your voice is your own sonic tool of healing and connection. It really is. And it can rebalance our out of tune energies. Sound, and this is all, I love science too. I was a bio major in college, so I am definitely wanting to bring in the science and the mystique, the magic of sound, because I believe they are one and the same. They are meshed, they are melded. Would you agree, right? It just seems like all of this is coming together now, right? The what we thought of as woo-woo is not woo-woo, but to bring that ancient technology into the present, to make it relevant for people. I just lost my train of thought. It's live, right? This happens. Oh, yes. Our Sound is basically a force of nature. Sound can reform, literally reform and change matter. And that is illustrated in the study of cymatics. I'm going to spell that because some of our listeners might want to look this up. It's Cymatics. I might give you a link to put in the video in the bottom in the notes. But it's sound is geometric. Each frequency has a specific geometric shape that it will form. Okay, maybe some of you have seen the viewers have seen videos of somebody playing a violin over grains of sand, and the sand forms these really cool shapes. Okay, well, that's what sound does to us at a cellular vibratory level as well. It literally reforms, realigns us in this very geometric way. And when we speak, chant, tone, anything like that, the sound is coming out of us in what they have found in a big holographic bubble. It starts here in the vocal cords and then it comes out and it surrounds us, and then it also surrounds people surrounding us who are in our vicinity. That's why sound healing works so well. And the sound comes out and it continues on and on and on, because the sound, especially of your voice, carries with it a little bit of infrared light. And light travels faster than the speed of sound, so it keeps going out there into the universe. And that's a whole nother topic of how your thoughts and your words have power. But another piece of it really quick is that science has found out that trauma memory is literally held in the cells. And if you think about like I've had two really bad car accidents where my car was totaled. So I have trauma memory in my neck and my back, and I've been working on that to try to release that. And they have found that sound can be an actual, like a little point of releasing that memory. I will share a really quick story. I was at a therapy session once. It was called myofascial release therapy. Some people may be familiar with that, where it's like massage, only they use compression to compress and release the fascial restrictions in your body. And I was on the table for quite some time, and the practitioner was compressing my chest for a long time. All of a sudden, my body starts vibrating like crazy on its own. And all of a sudden, this primal yell comes out of my mouth that I was completely detached from. It was completely involuntary. My body chose to release the held, stuck, constricted trauma through my voice. And my offering, Go Primal, Amplify Your Voice, Claim Your Soul's Power. It's a long name, but that is the premise. That is the basis of that, is to help people release that stuck trauma. And I use movement too. I use shaking like you do, right? And when you combine the sound with the shaking and the tapping or the conscious loving touching of your body in spaces, right? To allow your body to speak to you. I'm getting chills.
My heart is vibrating right now. First of all, there's so much. I know every
It's
word
huge.
you just
It's a huge
said,
topic.
every
Yeah.
single word could have been an hour-long conversation. So
Yes.
on that note, I know Ruth's going to share her contact information, and we're going to include that in the notes with this video. But if you want to learn more about this, I highly encourage you to do so, and connect with Ruth, because there is so much here. One of the pieces I kind of want to pull on here is this very practical idea of sound, vibration, and its impact. Because I'm trying to think of times where I've experienced things like this in very practical ways. I remember some of the first concerts I went to as a young girl, and hearing certain sounds at the concerts, and yeah, you get chills, or it stirs up emotion. And it's not like anything circumstantially changed, like nothing happened. It just was receiving that sound. I'm thinking of in some of my yoga studies, chanting and mantras are a part of that. And that's not a part I have really taken a deep dive into understanding in order to teach. I focus more on the movement part, but I know there has been times of just sitting in that sound, whether I'm creating the sound or the sound is surrounding me, and really feeling my mental state change. And most recently, this is the third example, and I don't really know the science behind this. It's winter here in the Northeast, and we got a humidifier because the air in our house was starting to get dry, and I didn't know like one humidifier versus another. And this one we got was ultrasonic. And returned it because here's what happened. All of a sudden we have a gas fireplace or gas stove, our cooking stove. The flames, the day after we plugged in this ultrasonic humidifier, the flames, which are usually blue, turned orange. And we did some research. We were like, is the stove broken? Like, something going on? Like, and we, did some Googling and found out it was the vibration of the ultrasonic waves that like released something from the humidifier into the air to change the flames. So the connection it made me is like, here's this thing in this other room happening, and the vibration is going out, and this thing that like you don't look connected, like the humidifier is not plugged into the stove or the gas line, but these things that you can't necessarily see but are very practical and create a very tangible result. And if you go back to basic physics, this is what we learn. Everything is energy, everything is vibration. And like you said, this is where woo woo and kind of practical meet. And without kind of diving deep into the physics of it, I believe from what I'm hearing from you, it's really as simple as that. Sound creates vibration, vibration affects form. And our cells are form, the fluid in the cells, the cellular membranes, the functioning of the cells, how they relate to each other in a chain reaction to create other effects. I mean, man,
it's huge.
Like I said, go have a conversation with Ruth.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't affecting you or it isn't real. I mean, think of 5G, about all the effects they're finding out. As wonderful as that is, and expedient that it is yeah. And the thing with that's why I love the whole study with the voice, is because it's so basic and simple. It's almost like too simple to be believed that this could actually affect you. But we know how much, like you say, how a person singing, it's like it entrances us. We idolize American Idol. We idolize these people, the sound of the human voice. And really, for all the tools I have, all the beautiful bowls, the voice trumps all of that. The voice is the most powerful of all of that, and your body is hardwired to respond to the sound of your own voice. Your cells love your voice, and it's not just your cellular, the energetic body, and we have found out this is science. We have energetic layers to our bodies. Sound is also affecting you, and we are literally vibration. They've even found that they did a study and found out that human bodies vibrate at a certain frequency, measured in hertz, between 62 and 72 hertz. They have also found out that viruses, pathogens, diseases vibrate and live very well under 58 hertz. They do not live well above 58 hertz. So if you literally can keep your vibes high, that is not just a new agey thing, that's real. Keep your vibes high. You can keep your your immune system very healthy and able to fight these off.
That is
And that's
truly
huge, right?
That's huge. Oh my
Right.
gosh. I'm gonna ask you in a moment to I know you have some tools and resources, YouTube and elsewhere to share, because I hope people just heard that. They want to say like, okay, it's time to like, when this is over, go do something to tune up, I don't want to lose though that this innate tool that we have. One of the we were just talking before we hit record. One of the themes I'm finding in having these conscious body conversations is a theme of ease and accessibility. And for most of us, your voice is right there. Is
Doesn't get
right
any more accessible than that.
doesn't get any more accessible. And I know for me, I would say it wasn't super easy to kind of like get over that hurdle. You know, I'm not a singer. Chanting didn't really come naturally to me on my yoga path, you know. And when I think about it, the times of trauma in my own life, I felt silenced. So a lot of my trauma is around my voice, not necessarily, you know, physically, and even thinking about like when I do have bad dreams, a lot of it, you know, that recurring thing of like trying to scream but nothing comes out, that kind of thing. So I encourage you, like, even if finding your voice doesn't seem easy, like for me, not having had an experience with Ruth, kind of peeling through those layers and finding the ways, the very primal, I love that you use that word, very primal ways to use your voice, that tool of ease and accessibility to access that primal tool that's right there. So I know there is so much more. Share with us any final thoughts you have, any takeaways you'd like to deliver, and make sure you share your contact info, which I will also include.
Sure, thank you. Absolutely. The voice connects to the vagus nerve. We talked about the when you and I spoke earlier at another time how vagal tone is really getting like the polyvagal theory and everything is very very popular now, very much more in the lexicon. But what it is your vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It connects down to all our organs. It also facilitates or activates the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system, which is the Zen one, the rest and digest state. Our voice is innervated or activated by that nerve. So anytime you use your voice for anything, and it doesn't have to be singing. This is not singing. That's what I tell everybody. It's making primal sound, which actually activates the old brain or the limbic system, and that gets us also into that rest and digest state. So anytime if you just sit and just go, I ask people to maybe put their hands where they feel on their body, where they feel consciously, without judgment. Put your hand, like a lot of times it's on my solar plexus, and I ask them to make a sound. What would that feeling sound like? And just give it a sound, like you're a little nervous or you're a little fearful. It can be like a baby whine, okay? To leave people with something that they can utilize. There is a sound. It's very simple, very basic. It's VOO, VOO. I've used this on so many people. That ooh is a beautiful sound because it goes down into your body. And I'm going to have you put your hands here. And this is something you may have heard of. You may have done this before, Jessie. This is something this is a soothing movement. So we're going to combine VOO with that, and I'll give you a little sound. Deep sound, doesn't have to be that pitch. It doesn't have to be the pitch, just any sound you can make. One more. And then just breathe into that. Now, I don't know about you, but just those 3 times we did that, I definitely feel like like a depth, a more presence, a feeling of being more in my body. The more we can get into that, what the neuroscientists call that resting brain state, the more we can move through the ups and downs of life and build resiliency. And we are going to need resiliency to move forward in this year. This is a very simple, accessible tool that you can use.
That changed me right away, for sure. Ruth, what a gift. What a blessing. I know we're going to include a link to a video on your YouTube channel for another exercise. If you got a little bit of that out of that exercise, there's going to be another exercise connected to this that you can do. What's your website or your contact info? Where can we
My
find you?
name, ruthratliff.com. RUTHRATLIFF.com.
Easy,
And all
easy.
the info's on there for different things I offer. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. This was great.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Rest in that vibration, enjoy it, and please tune in to the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.